Okay, time for episode 2. Cut and run. Yep, I think we're gonna see Cut in this. Good question, Hunter. What are you gonna do with her? Maybe you should have left her on Kamino since she's, a child? Okay, yeah, so it is Seleucami. It's in what, at least a few seasons of the Clone Wars since we saw this? So these weird things look kind of like juvenile versions of those weird things with the huge butts on them that Anakin jumped on Naboo. Oh, that scene's so bad. Remember how? Go back and watch that. The CGI in that is so awful. What is that thing called again? The weird like tiger from Geonosis? A Nexu, I think, is what it's called. It's dirt, Omega. I know you grew up and lived your whole life on Kamino, but we know that the clones were educated. Didn't we see a scene in Attack of the Clones where they were basically had school? They had to have learned about terrain on other planets because that's where they were going to go and fight on. Why would she not get the same education as the other ones? So Lucami's got some weird foliage. It looks like something out of Horton Hears a Who. Remember those weird flowers that the wait, I'm thinking of the Lorax. The Lorax, I think. Oh, that's right. Cut deserted. It's been so long since that episode that I forgot what happened with him. That's not really a booby trap so much as a scarecrow. Doesn't trap or kill anything, it just kind of goes boo. Those god rays, though. Have we seen her before, the wife of Cut? I assume we did in an old episode, it's just been too long. Oh, so Rex just passed through here. I wonder if we're going to see how he got from the Clone Wars to Rebels, because we see him... We saw him get his chip out, right, at the end of Season 7, and then he ends up with Gregor and Wolf in the middle of some desert in Rebels, so I wonder if we're going to see how he got there. How does he know about the inhibitor chips? They kept that secret locked down tight. Fives was like the only one that knew about it, and he was killed for it. I assume the only other ones that knew about it were a couple of Kaminoans, Palpatine obviously, and then Count Dooku, probably. So there's a mysterious ship outside that they knew nothing about, and Hunter just lets Omega go out there, despite them being hunted by Crosshair. Seems smart. I don't know what makes her defective. They still haven't really explained what her defects are. Yeah, what he said. It kind of does matter, though. You went back for her and said you had a feeling about her, and she's going to have to grow up real quick in a post-Order 66 galaxy. There's no staying a kid for long out here. Well, there's that weird goat race from, I think it was in one of the scenes in the OT, and I think they had it in Rebels as well. It's like some kind of goat man. This seems really risky, walking around among other clones. They all know that face. Yeah, I guess the facial hair is going to disguise it a little bit, but I don't know if that's enough. They've been seizing ships. Shouldn't they have seen the Bad Batch come in and immediately question them? Maybe the excuse is that Cut lives out in the boonies or something? I don't know. Oh, these weird things again? Alina, right? Is that what they're called? Alina? I remember them from... You ever see that bizarre deleted scene from the Phantom Menace with those things? It's so weird. It's such a weird design even for Star Wars. I'm still not entirely sure what a chain code is. Boba Fett said he had one, I think in The Mandalorian, when he showed that holographic projection of his lineage with his name and Jango's. Is it just a personal ID? So the Empire has reinstated new currency, but why can't they just continue using Republic currency? Wouldn't it be easier to just, filter new Empire branded currency into the circulation and slowly phase out the Republic credits over time? Maybe since this seems to be like a backwater area, maybe they have some local currency. I don't know how it works exactly. Because that's how we do it. If we have a new bill, we just let the old bill stay in there, and then they filter in new ones, and it eventually gets out of circulation. I don't know. This situation looks vaguely familiar as of late. Registering people, not allowing people to go to certain places without some new ID provided by a newly installed government. Right now I would probably put a news montage on here, but you know how YouTube is. I don't want to risk that. The ball goes outside the fence, and this kid that lives here knows the dangers past that fence. But this idiot goes anyway. Now, of course, the Nexu's back. This is giving me Sandlot vibes. Remember that scene where the ball ends up in the yard with the dog and they have to go and get it? Why haven't they shot this thing a long time ago? You're telling me that Cut with his kids that play out in the yard all the time, that they're just going to let that thing live and that they're going to risk it coming attacking them at some point? I wouldn't risk that. Is it owned by somebody or something? If it's just wild, then just shoot it. Remember what I said last episode about how tech should have more limitations? Yeah, how can he just forge chain codes? Seriously? I didn't know they existed a moment ago, but yeah, sure, whatever the plot needs. That's insane. Oh, I thought that thing was an implant. I guess it's some kind of necklace around her head. So remember this scene for later because it's important. Here, Hunter says the pragmatic thing, which is to give the child a family, and she should stay here because she's safe. and she's not a soldier. She shouldn't be going with a group of men that are being hunted down by Crosshair and the Empire. He was talking about Stormtrooper recruits tech, not the whole chain code thing. Those are separate issues. You couldn't identify anyone in the galaxy with recruits signing up because not the whole galaxy signs up to be a Stormtrooper. That's kind of a weird interjection by Tech. He's like talking about something completely different. I wouldn't care if that's the only way in. There's no way I would go in with this insane plan. Let them confiscate the ship and hope to God you can fight or sneak your way out. Just for some discs. That seems insane. My thoughts exactly, Hunter. Really? So the incompetence of these two deciding not to immediately check the signature of the ship is going to allow them to pull this off. Otherwise they'd immediately know this is the Bad Batch's ship and they'd call up Tarkin and Crosshair to come get them. They might as well look directly at the camera here and just speak directly to the Wikipedia article writers. Doors unlocked, no security cameras. Come on. So this is just a nitpick, but it's still weird to me that in the world of Star Wars they still use physical media. Like, couldn't the chain codes just be coded into people's DNA with like an injection or something? Like Rogue One had that weird floppy disk thing that the Death Star plans were on. Also, I guess it's a good thing that Echo has a droid hand for all the hacking he has to do. Man, clones always arrive just too late to see what's happening. Oh hey, it's the weird old man crash test dummy torture droid from Jabba's palace on The Mandalorian. Okay, no, you're a kid and these guys are being hunted. Why are we doing this again? We did this last episode. What are you doing? This dumb, inexperienced kid is going to get herself and the Bad Batch killed. Just running out into gunfire like that. It's a good thing this interrupting clone butted in when he did and just made this clone that clearly recognized Cut's face just go, meh, carry on, instead of questioning him further. I'm surprised we never see any heavy troopers get called in for situations like this. No one's busting out a rocket launcher like the one from Battlefront 2, or a heavy blaster, or even like a mortar like the one from The Mandalorian. That's the whole purpose of special unit clones. And even if they didn't have special unit clones, just have like a rocket stashed somewhere. Is Wrecker using a gonk droid to do bicep curls? What the hell? He's not getting rid of you. He's doing it for your own safety. He's looking out for you. Ah! Sometimes what you want isn't what you need, kid. And besides, you're a child. If you're under 18, you shouldn't be allowed to make these kind of decisions on your own. That's the whole point of parenting. No, you don't, Hunter. You were in the right here. Don't blame yourself now. Why, Hunter? This is what I was talking about earlier, how it doesn't make sense that he completely flipped on his position from before. Earlier, he was adamant about her staying with Cut. He did a complete 180 on his position throughout the arc of this episode. And after she just ran back to him during a firefight, it should be even more apparent to him that she should stay with Cut's family. It doesn't really make sense that he's suddenly changed his mind. And that's about it for this episode. I thought the first one was better. I thought there was some more problems with this in terms of writing. I get that this is a kid show for the most part, but you'd think that they would make it appealing for everyone. Like I said, I'm gonna probably go back and watch Clone Wars again. Maybe there's more problems that I remember, but you don't have to reduce the standard of writing because it's for kids. Also, I did notice that it's not just Dave Filoni by himself now. For some reason there's a second writer, and I looked up who this is, and she doesn't have that much experience. It's kind of odd that she's with Dave Filoni now. I don't know what that's about. But we'll see from here on out. Hopefully the show can swing back to more like episode 1. Maybe there's just a handful that aren't as well written. I sincerely hope the first one was not the best one, because I want it to get better. Anyway, what did you guys think of this episode? Did you think it was worse or better than the first one? I'm going to continue making reviews for this show, but also at the same time, I'm going to actually start not streaming. I can't stream yet, but I'm going to start making videos of the Mass Effect trilogy that's coming out. I've never played it, and I'm going to do a Let's Play series of all 3 games starting as soon as it comes out this weekend. So look forward to that. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.